What up, what up, what up, what up, what up, YouTube? Welcome back to another major market breakdown. As always, we're going to start with DXY. We did take a little bit of an L. Well, it's not completely taken, but I'm about to close a trade and a little bit of small little loss. We're going to get into that a little later into the episode. It's one of the crosses that we sent out last week, but to go through all the majors first, it seems like DXY wants to continue to the upside off of this little double bottom bounce that we have here, and then we this prior swing we have here. So we're basically just in the middle of a consolidation where data is already kind of supporting USD to the upside, but we'll have to see how CPI really comes out to see how a lot of these markets are going to be moving next week. But as far as predictions go, I'm expecting DXY to give us another push to the upside to break this last little swing high here, and then we'll see what we're looking at from a data standpoint from there. How will I be trading this? NZD USD is the number one thing I'll be looking at to get an opportunity on. This breakout above this like little consolidation here on the 30-minute is lovable, I guess you could say. I don't know. From a fundamental perspective, I've kind of been waiting to get an opportunity for this. With this breakout, I wasn't paying as much attention as I would have liked. I would have liked to get like maybe this entry, maybe even this entry, but it's not super extra serious on those little wicks right there, because we're probably going to come back to at least this little FVG down here. So I'd expect price to give us like a strong rejection off of this area, but if that doesn't happen, then we'll just reassess and go from there. We do have our Markov regime probability filter telling us that we have some bearishness incoming. But towards the end of last week, when we started like busting through these areas here, the bird's eye tool was giving us an incoming bearish momentum read as well. Right now it's just reading neutral, but well, actually let's go see exactly what we're reading at this very moment. Yeah, back to neutral there, but we were getting an incoming bearish momentum read before. So a lot of times we use these tools and indicators to give us more context to what's going on. The bird's eye bands, with the lines you see around price on your screen here, whenever it's likely or a high value zone, it'll give you a buy or sell signal based off of price action and Markov numbers. So one of the cooler, more intuitive tools that we have here for make you guys' trading a little bit easier. We haven't gotten, I don't think, a signal on NZD USD for the bird's eye bands in a while, but it's not one of the main assets that we use it on. One of the main assets that we use it on, things like gold. What are these lines? Oh, I'm going on my 1 minute. Let me see. Oh no, I don't know where those lines came from, but generally you'll get a stop loss line and a TP line stretched out across your chart, so you guys will be able to understand where you should be in and out of trade. This right here, I think, was just like one of those kind of false signals right here. Just got in and got out real quick. Generally they're bigger positions. We've kind of gone through a lot of them here on the channel. If you guys want to see more in depth about that, like more examples of where it's gotten trades in and out and things like that, you guys can head over to the website. The link is in the description. Just go to the Bird's Eye Bands page and you guys can check out all the info on that. But let's get on to the next asset. Well, actually, let me go back to NZD/USD because yeah, this area, yeah, we touch any of this. I mean, even just breaking this low here may give me enough to get in, but we'll see how that opens. But I love NZD/USD buys this week. That's the main trade I'll be looking at. UDCHF is this L that we took. You know, gotta talk about the wins, gotta talk about the losses too. Small little, we're gonna close soon as market opens. We're gonna close this. Basically, I mean, like, not essentially break even as you can see, but at the same time, the way we got in and out in the VIP chat, because we got out with a little bit of profit, and then got in again. So like the entry that was sent out, that was resent out, is really like right around here, if I'm not mistaken, or like right around here. So we're like we're closer to break even than it seems like, but a small loss is a small loss, whatever. I do believe that gold is getting a bid, and we may see some more downturn on the dollar inversely because of that, and that kind of just pushes this trade to the upside here. So gonna go ahead and cut this short, and we are still kind of diamond handing XRP right now. We'll see how long I want to diamond hand that, but probably going to be swinging it for the next couple of weeks. There's some pretty decent inflows from some smaller cryptos right now. So like the Bitcoin dominance chart is on the on mid level, so it's not like super extra heavy. So like some of the outflows that we've seen over the past couple of weeks from crypto aren't not every single flow is hitting all of the cryptos. Is what I'm trying to say there. So like it's a slightly more advantageous time than others to start. Like if you're like a long-term holder, start building up some coins here and there, because I'm not saying Bitcoin's at a floor. Bitcoin's floor is like 45K right now, something like that. Don't quote me on it. But the volatility of that, like hitting and then bouncing right back, would just kind of give a tailwind to all the other coins, rather than see it like follow the chart exactly. If you guys can understand that, people that have been watching, been with me for past couple of years, kind of know what I mean. But if you don't, just go back and watch some how to trade videos on my channel. I usually use like pretty big moves and like highly covered chart areas to teach with, because like anybody can say anything in hindsight, but like when you're talking about like things that are widely analyzed, widely covered, it's hard to kind of BS your way through it, when you could be easily called out on the BS. But let's take a look at US oil. I'll be honest, I'm not trading US oil this week. I'm really just analyzing for y'all. I think like all this isn't done just because all this isn't done, right? So I think like traders and investors are going to try to trade it up to test this area to see how the market reacts there, and then we'll probably see more selling. So like I'm honestly in the camp of just kind of like chilling on the sidelines and waiting on oil, because once we get into like these areas here, then I start becoming more interested in taking sells. Now granted, all the stuff with the Trump-Iran war basically needs to come to a more of a stalemate, standstill, or a complete freaking halt before I decide to actually take a sell on US oil. But they're back and forth with the headlines. It's kind of a messy trade. That's why I've been steering clear of it for the most part. But kind of keeping the watch list pretty short this week, just because it's more of a wait and see kind of week. So I want to throw a whole bunch of trade ideas out there, just because like more trade ideas are gonna ensue once we have the CPI print. We know what inflation is doing. If inflation comes in spikily, comes in hefty, then gold and AD are both going to continue to the downside. But I'm not gonna hold the AD trade and wait till then. We'll just kind of see what happens. You know, I'm gonna cut the trade and then we'll see. I don't like sitting in drawdown before news comes out. It's depending on the setup. You know, it can be a little more advantageous to hold, but with this one, the market's already expecting it to come out, inflation to come out hot. So if it comes out like even a little cool, then it'll send gold flying higher. You know what I mean? So like, on the off chance that could happen, because people, they could just throw out some fake data and then revise it a few months later. On the off chance they decide to do that, I don't want to be at risk when it happens, and I think that's good advice for all traders. So write that in your little journal. All right. Not gonna cover, like I said, not gonna cover too many markets this week just because of that factor. Because we're waiting, but that means you guys need to tap into the live show, because we stream every day, almost all day. Most of the New York session, the YouTube channel is live with some kind of trade update, informational piece, something of value for your trading session. So make sure you guys tap into that. If you haven't already, hit that like button, hit that sub button, and that bell icon. All that tells the algorithm that this is good content and needs to get pushed forward. And without further ado, I love y'all. Make sure you're kind to somebody today. I'm gonna catch you on the next one.